Here we have some ugly play. The player in blue has pushed the ball too far ahead of himself. The player in white attempts to shepherd the ball off the back of the pitch and is shoved unceremoniously into the hoardings. A good shove in the back. This, I think, deserves a long yellow. I think the aggressive follow-up and the threatening behaviour here tips it over to a red, and it should have been a red card. There's no hint of apology there for what he's done. If he had been pushed into the hoardings, he would have gone ballistic. This incident is accidental or impetuous, but very, very silly, very dangerous. Although the number 25 is quite badly injured, he might be said to be fortunate that that stick didn't hit him in the face. This incident involves the Dutch international Verga a couple of years ago in the EHL. It was caused by the actions of the block tackler who knocked his own player into the shoulder of Verga, and he reacted angrily, instinctively, flung his stick out behind him, caught the innocent opponent in the mouth, and as I recall, he broke his jaw, but he certainly cost him all the teeth on his lower jaw on one side. Verga received a red card for this from his association and was suspended, I believe, for 3 matches. Even though, in complete contrast to our original example, he didn't intend to do that and was immediately sorry that he had done so. Here is another example of deliberate offence. I'm told that this might be a chip flat, but to me it looks like an edge hit. Why unnecessarily use a stroke that looks like an illegal stroke? And here we have obstruction. The player in red and white quite clearly turns to position to be himself between his opponent and the ball. More obstruction. And more obstruction. Once. Twice. Even slowed down, it's difficult to tell whether the ball is played deliberately into the defender there or accidentally deflects into the defender off the attacker's stick. Either way, the umpire immediately awards a penalty corner, and I can't see what for. Had the ball not hit the defender, it would have deflected off the attacker's stick straight to the stick of one of the 2 defenders behind him. I can't see any advantage gained there. No reason to award a penalty corner at all. So open play begins, of course, with an obstruction. Imposing a body between the opponent and the ball, shielding it. Here we have an example of the standby of the unskilled player, propelling the ball into the foot of an opponent in the expectation of the award of penalty against the player hit with the ball, and the umpiring failure in awarding that penalty. The free ball is taken, obstruction, very clear example of ball shielding, obstruction by ball shielding. But no surprise that the umpire is completely unaware of the offence. Unexplained penalty corner. Interesting because the ball propelled towards the goal was hit or slapped from outside the circle, and if the deflected ball had been above backboard height, the goal would not have counted. It happened that a low deflection was played into the goalkeeper's pads, so the problem didn't arise. And now the men. We start with a third-party obstruction, and the two players who were contesting for the ball continue their dance. And here we have two examples of the now standard turning to impose the body, shielding and shunting across the face of an opponent. These are invisible to umpires. The player in red cannot be obstructed from that position, and that is a contact foul. The umpire appears to have missed it completely. Standard of foul, imposing the body between the player and the ball, shielding it across the front of him. Obstruction. And here we have the very beautiful tactic of shielding the ball in the corner, obstruction. This deserves the award of a penalty. The attacking player here turns between his opponent and the ball to prevent him playing at it, backs bodily into him, making physical contact. These are invisible obstructions. Then moves away to give himself room to shoot, plays the ball into the goal, and a goal is